Hello, you're watching RTD's English News Edition. Coming up, President Anglais arrives at Ankara to participate in the investiture ceremony of the President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. In our international news, urban violence persists in Haiti. Thank you for joining us in our newsroom. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Mergeli, arrived this Monday early afternoon in Ankara, the Turkish capital, where he will take part tonight in the ceremony dedicated to the inauguration the Supreme Judiciary of the re-elected President of this country, Mr. Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Through his participation in this event, President Anglais pays tribute to his Turkish counterpart, who committed the ceremony of his inauguration as an opportunity to gather around him the most illustrious friends of his country. Through his participation in this event, President Anglais also provides political support to a leader who is leading a country linked to ours through a series of strategic and win-win partnerships. Health, education and higher education, agriculture, trade and economy, geothermal are all key sectors around which the Republic of Djibouti and the sister nation and friend of Turkey have successful cooperation. During his stay in Turkey, President Anglais will not only be taking part in this ceremony dedicated to the inauguration of the re-elected president of that country, he will take advantage of this trip to Turkey to talk with the Turkish top leaders, including President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. The state of play of strategic partnership between the two countries, including geothermal cooperation, will be discussed at length during an informal interview between President Anglais and his Turkish counterpart. In this section of discussions, it will be mainly about discussing the modalities for a rapid transfer of skills and know-how in geothermal exploration and exploitation. In addition to the economy and development, discussions will be extended to a number of topics of common interest to both nations, including stabilization and reconstruction in Somalia. During his stay in Ankara, the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Mergeli, will reside at Marriott Palace Hotel, an institution specializing in the accommodation of heads of states and government visiting the Turkish capital. An important delegation, including the Minister of Economy and Finance, Ilyas Musadwali, accompanied the President of the Republic in the context of this trip to Turkey. And also to be noted, in the delegation led by the head of state in Ankara, the presence of the ambassador of our country to the Republic of Turkey, Mr. Adan Hussein Abdullahi. The Prime Minister and Acting Head of Government, Mr. Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, proceeded today to a decoration ceremony during which he raised the Ambassador of the People's Republic of China, Fu Wenkung, to the rank of Knight in the National Order of 27 June. The decoration ceremony took place in the presence of the Council of the Chinese Embassy, Ms. Zhang Xingyong, and the Prime Minister's Office Director, Mr. Yusuf Aulet. After receiving the honorary award from the Prime Minister, Ambassador Hu expressed his gratitude to the head of state, Ismail Mergeli, the Prime Minister, the government and people of Djibouti. He referred to the historical and privileged links between the two countries based on respect and mutual trust in Chinese diplomacy. He is there to consolidate, he said, and promote bilateral cooperation between our two countries. The ambassador added, because Djibouti is of paramount importance to China. And for his part, Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed expressed the gratitude of the government of Djibouti for the kingdom present with us since the beginning, he said, of our independence, whose cooperation in various fields is based on relations of solid friendships. The Prime Minister gave an update on the state of play of the multiple partnership, as well as ways and means to consolidate them further. And born on December 23, 1957, the ambassador is at the end of his mission and will leave Djibouti around mid-July after a 5 and 3 months mission to our country. And now moving on to the national news, a delegation of parliamentarians led by MP Dilator Mohamed Dilator went to Quebec to participate in the 44th annual session of the Parliamentary Assembly of La Francophonie, which has been held since July 5th and will be closed tomorrow. MPs Ubah Abdullahi and Omar Abdullahi Malo, both members of the Parliamentary Assembly of La Francophonie, also participate in this event. It should be recalled that these meetings organized by the National Assembly of Quebec also aims to bring together the Conference of the Presidents of the French-speaking parliaments. This Conference of Presidents will also be an opportunity to further reflect on the role of parliaments in the inclusion of women, youth, and culture and ethnic minorities in each National Assembly. The highlight of this session is the reinstatement of the National Assembly of the Republic of Djibouti in the Parliamentary Assembly of la Francophonie. An end of a training ceremony was held early this morning at the State Technical Tactical Training Center at the CCO. The ceremony was chaired by the Minister of Higher Education and Research, Dr. Nabil Mohammed Ahmed. It saw the participation of the Chief of Staff, Major General of the Army, Chief of the Army, Rep. General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim, the Director Mrs. Nadira Abdullah, as well as several officers of the Djiboutian Armed Forces. 10 ambulance students of ISS was able to benefit from this quality training given by the Djibouti Armed Forces. The Ministry of Higher Education and Research has made available an ambulance for the practice, and upon their arrival at SITA, the Ministry of Higher Education and Research and the Chief of the Staff of Major General of the Army and Chief General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim were warmly welcomed and greeted the officers present on the spot. At the end of the ceremony, the Minister of Higher Education and Research, Nabil Mohammed Ahmed, and General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim proceeded to the delivery of driving license to the young beneficiaries of the driving training. The young trainees have all successfully passed the exam. The inspectors each received a letter of congratulations from the Minister and the General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim. The Minister of Higher Education, Dr. Nabil Mohammed Ahmed, in his speech thanked the General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim for the training for the benefit of students ambulances ISSS. And during the day, General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim went to the camp of Wais at Joad in Wera. The General has been received by the Chief of Staff of the General Defense, Tahiro. On his arrival, the General reviewed the troop and saluted the officers as well as the customary chiefs of the region of Arta. The Prefect of the region of Arta, Abdullah Hijrar Rukiye, and the President of the Regional Council took part in the inauguration ceremony of the fully renovated officers' building.
حقيقة دارنا دارنكم إذا يسنا بشدوا يسكتوا بنا وكان شو دعاء سنا وكان شو شرعي كنت شيء دستور كل نظام سما وكان شو دعاء سنا وكان شو دعاء سنا حقيقة دارنا دارنكم إذا يسنا بشدوا يسكتوا بنا وكان شو دعاء سنا وكان شو شرعي كنت دجي دستور كلنا سنة وكان شو دعاء السنة وكان شو دعاء السنة مبارك ودولة يا هاي تكن وناك سنة هل يا دافع عاقد تدوي قريو
Also, General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim went to the Arta First Action Regime camp. The general was accompanied by the Chief of Staff of the General Defense Star Muhammad Ali. Upon his arrival, General Zakaria reviewed with the troops and greeted the notables of the region. The Prefect of the region of Arta, Abdullah Bukiye, and the President of the Regional Council were present during the visit of the General. A projection was made in honor of the General and the accompanying delegation. Then the General of the Army Forces went to the mosque of the Canberra, recently renovated. In the course of his visit, the General visited the official gallery construction of a reception hall for officers. Civil soldiers were elevated. And during his speech for this occasion, the Chief of Staff and Major General of the Army, General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim, did not fail to congratulate the officers for the remarkable work they have done, as well as the authorities of the region. The Ministry of Health has held a meeting today with the delegation of the Saudi Fund for Development as part of a periodic review of the progress of health projects financed by the fund. Thus, the delegation was introduced by the Special Advisor of the President of the Republic in order to finalize the various projects of acquisition of medical equipment. The Saudi delegation was made up of the Operation Manager and the head of the Operations Department of the Saudi Fund, and note also the presence of the main executives of the Health Department who attended the discussions focused on the finalization of two major equipment acquisition programs, namely the provision of a state-of-the-art MRI device, commissioning a new oxygen plant with a production capacity of 200 bottles per day, and the acquisition of the new dialysis unit for the Sheikh Hospital. Financed for $2 million, these new acquisitions are of paramount importance. Indeed, the acquisition of these medical equipment will be funded by the Saudi Arab Development Fund. On the international news now, urban violence persists in Haiti. More in this video. And now let's move on the international news. Urban violence persists in Haiti. More in this video.
Mr. Jaige had originally said the country needed to raise prices to balance the budget and gave no indication he would back down. But his administration brought to pressure after demonstrators took the street in protest. A journalist from the Associated Press reported saying several hundred people on Saturday attacked a Best Western Prime Hotel in Pétionville, one of the capital's wealthy neighborhoods. Guests were forced to remain inside a box were early through windows around 10 a.m. local time. Security managed the building, but rioters shattered the main entrance before moving to another hotel. No injuries or deaths were reported during the day's incidents, but at least 3 people were killed Friday as protesters used burning tires and barricades to block major streets. At one point they attempted to set a gas station on fire, but were held off by police.
More than 100 people have been killed and dozens are missing after torrential rains unleashed floods and landslides in the western Japan. More with our Abdi.
30,000 people have been left without electricity, power companies said on Monday, while hundreds of thousands had no water. It's the worst flood disaster since 1983, when 117 people were killed in heavy rains. The death toll reached at least 110 after flood water forced several million from their homes. In Ashk, public television say on Monday, with another 79 people missing. Though continuous rain had indeed, officials warned of sudden showers of 10 storms as well as the risk of further landslides on the mountains situated over the weekend. Some homes had been smashed while others were left tottering precariously.
For this edition, thank you for joining us on RTD and have a good night.